Hello and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today I am in Bangkok. Yes, you heard right, I'm in Bangkok. I'm in a cigar lounge here opposite the Terminal 21. I am in the Sheraton Hotel. There is a bar called Cigarista, quaint, luxurious little cigar bar, and I'll take you through the cigar bar after I have a smoke. Great cigar selection, great host, and you're allowed to bring your own cigars as long as you pay a cutting fee of 500 baht. That's 500 baht spent at the bar. So not a cash fee, but spent at the bar. So I'm pairing my cigar today with a Diplomatico Exclusiva Reserva rum. Something a little sweeter, something a little bit different. Now, today I have a very special cigar to review. It is a Fuente 2016, not something you come across every day. It is the BBMF. So BBMF is short for Big Bad Motherfucker. There we go. BBMF. It's got a little funny tail there, bulbous shape, and a natural wrapper. But to be honest, I don't know a huge amount about it. All I know is that they're hard to come by, hard to source. Oh, glorious. I've been waiting to smoke these for a long time, and I thought, this is my birthday month. I'm in Bangkok. I've just had my flu jab, so what the doctor has prescribed me is basically a cigar and a glass of rum. I didn't bring my cutter and my usual lighter, but these will obviously more than suffice. Yeah, so look, something a bit limited edition. I'm just waiting for my drink, and then I'm going to start toasting, lighting, and smoking. Looking forward to it. So my drink has arrived. It is a glass of rum. Now you have to spend 500 baht, so this is about 280 per dram, per shot, 40 ml. And so you've got to order two anyway, you have no choice, you've got to pay 500, right? So in for a penny, in for a pound, that's what I say. I don't even know if that saying is actually appropriate in this case. Who cares? All right, and I've got my glass of water as well. I need a refresher, so let's start toasting. I'd wear my sunglasses in here, but you know, there's no sun. Now, as you can see, there is a strange shape to this. Okay, strange tail, strange bulbous shape, like a torpedo type thing. I don't even know what it's called, but I'm going to toast, and I'm going to cut. I've been waiting to cut this for a very long time. Look at that. It's like a little tail. Let's toast. Now when I came in here, they turned on the ventilation, the aircon, so I'm presuming they don't turn it on all the time, but all of the smoke goes up. Doesn't swirl around. Fantastic. It looks like this place got a very easy draw. I think there might be some cracks in the wrapper. Unfortunately, nothing is perfect. The flavour is good so far, it's just starting to warm up now. It's really weird when you've got these little nipple thing in the front. It's like, what is it? Why do they have it? Doesn't make sense to me, but it takes a while to get going. I've had a few cigars like that before. It takes a while to get going, but once it gets going, the flow comes, you know? So I'm just letting it breathe. letting it come. Leathery, dry hay, dry grass, a little nutty, coffee bitter, a bitterness of coffee. Just going to let it cool down a little bit. With the rigorous puffing, trying to get it going, it's a little bit hot. But, you know, with a big front, you know, it can insulate all the heat, so yeah. That's it. Some almond, amaretto, cereal notes, hay, dry leather, a little grassy, dry grass, and a woody note to it, and a coffee theme. Very nice so far, very delicious. I'm going to have a sip of rum. I'm going to pair it with rum. I think it'll be quite nice. And I'll see you after the first third. Not quite the first third yet, but smoke output is extremely good. No change in flavour. Still a little nutty, leathery, bit of dry grass in there. But quite a mellow smoke so far. I'm very surprised. I would have thought that this would be a face puncher right here, but no, it's pretty mellow. Delicious. Pairs well with the rum. Sweet on the sweet side, and it helps balance it up. We'll see you after the first third. I sometimes get obsessed with scotch, single malt scotch, that I forget how good rum can be. It's a good rum. It can be so freaking delicious. I just forget sometimes, you know? As I'm entering the second third, I'm noticing a little bit of a savouriness coming through, almost a bit like a meatiness coming from the cigar, which is quite unusual, but not complaining. Delicious. Smoke output still primo, as you can see. Still a very dry smoke. The flavour has not changed dramatically at all, but it's becoming slightly more and more intense as the shape becomes more funneled towards the end. It starts to become a little bit more intense as usual, but nothing too overwhelming. Fantastic smoke. So far, fantastic. So it's good to be out and about. Good to be out and about in Bangkok, out of New Zealand, after the COVID era. Just a little, when you see this, is probably a little bit of an update. I'm going to be bouncing around different places, different countries with Karen for as long as we can, as long as we want to, and see where it leads us. So, I'm trying to take my time with it. I can feel that if I keep puffing too fast, it's going to kick me like a mule. So I'm trying to be very restrained. So now we're about halfway through the cigar. The coffee flavours in there are becoming a bit more intense. But that meatiness that I'm talking about, almost a little salinity, almost a bit like a cured ham, almost like a prosciutto. starting to come through a little bit. Really strange flavour actually, a bit of a savouriness that I'm not used to from a cigar. The last cigar they tasted with a bit of savouriness like that was a Trinidad. I believe a Trinidad Esmeralda or the God of Fire had that kind of savouriness to it. But great smoke, great smoke. Now, it could be the cool air in here, but yeah, the flavour is so gradual that I can't even really notice it's just hard to notice the change in flavour. You have to really, really think about it, which is great because otherwise you're just smoking, not thinking, right? It's fantastic. You guys, let me know if you've tried a BBMF before. I'm actually curious because I've had quite a few different types of OpusXs, but never a BBMF. And it's just a novelty for me because in New Zealand we never get this. In fact, the only place I've seen this was in the US, in Las Vegas actually. I've never really seen this stick before. Fortunately, removing the band, the first band, there are two bands, removing the first band, a little bit of the wrapper stuck to it. The band right there. It happens, especially because the band is quite a delicate band as well. I like keeping the band on actually. Some people take it off straight away, but I like keeping it on. It's a little bit of a reminder of what you're having, you know. I mean, such an ornate band, you know, when you have a look at that. So a little bit of an irony here today. We're smoking an exceptionally expensive rare cigar, and we're drinking it with Venezuelan rum. Talk about an irony, you know. Venezuelan rum, you know, land of socialism. love the irony. The burn is becoming quite nice now. Not perfect, but doesn't have to be. Yeah, relatively even. I can handle that. We're the home stretch now, the last third, or shall I say 3/4, but I consider it to be the last third because I'm not sure what it'll be like after the close to the band, right? So I will see you in the last third. So I'm on the last third now. I'm going to end it right here. I'm not going to smoke it all the way to the end. Well, I will, but I'm not going to review it. I know what's going to happen. The flavour is going to get super intense. The coffee is now starting to dominate. A bit of dark chocolate in there as well, and coffee, a bit of a mocha. The leatheriness, the grassiness, it's all but gone. Just a little tiny bit left. The smoke output is excellent. To be expected, the flavour progression has been perfect start to finish. Have you had the BBMF before? Let me know your thoughts. In terms of whiskey pairings or spirit pairings, I paired it with a rum today. That's been great. Something a little sweeter, but I would recommend starting off with a heavily sherried Highland or Speyside until the first half, and then I transition to a maybe a lightly peated Kalila, well, not lightly peated, but a slightly lighter peat like a Kalila. And in the last third, the home run, the home stretch, I would then do an Ardbeg, something heavy, something robust, to just finish it off. I think you can smoke this, to be honest, quite to the end, but you know, it's up to you. Now, whether or not you'll be asking, is it worth it? This is about $140 US. You know, you get aged Cubans and Behikes and you know, rare Trinidad's out there that are 80 to 120, 200 euros. You know, the question is, well, it's all relative, right? If your go-to drink is rare whiskies and expensive, well-aged whiskies, well then I guess, you know, cost and economy is not an issue for you. But for me, something like this is something that's going to be for a special occasion, a special smoke, not something that you've had every day or frequently. Also, you have something like this if you have something like this too frequently, you actually lose joy from it. You lose the novelty, you lose that experience. So it's always good to have, you know, something lesser. So when you have more, then you get to appreciate it more. But it's been a fantastic experience. BBMF, my first BBMF OpusX. There are cheaper OpusX out there that I think is better value for money, but obviously this one is novelty, super, super novelty. You know, with a little twist tie in the end and the rarity of it, you know, could be marketing, but at the end of the day, OpusX does carry a prestige of quality, and I think that's what really it comes down to. The smoke output is fantastic, can't complain. I would have preferred it to be a bit oilier, but you know, it's obviously not the style. It's not a Maduro, so it's not the style. I'm gonna let it rest, I'm gonna finish it off, but until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. Cheers, and see you in the next review.